All right, guys, welcome back to Kamisha Reviews. We're talking about traders. Okay, I want to make sure I'm saying this correctly. We're talking about traders. Let's get started. All right, guys. Yes, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. I am a little bit behind because I had a really full weekend, so I wasn't able to get to everything, all the stories, all the shows, whatever. So, traders, we're talking about episode 1 first. Okay, 1 through 3, I think. Let's talk about first who are actually the traders on the show. Okay. I think I kind of gave you guys the cast of who everything is, but the traders so far is Dan and Phaedra. I think Phaedra honestly is going to be a very good trader. I thought that Dan would be a good trader. Not for sure about that. At this time, I'm just not for sure. So anyway, of course, they had the blindfolds on. They got to choose everybody. Of course, Mr. Nail, the queen of everything, already had a problem with David. I'm sorry, John breathing funny. Now he says he's a minor, some stuff with his breath or whatever. Of course, he's a politician, so people gonna look at him crazy. Anyway, we have Larsa. She's telling everybody that she could feel Alan, vibrating, lifting his jacket when he passed by Parvati. She must be a traitor. She was like, okay, just doing something to divert attention away from yourself, whatever. So anyway, which is crazy, the first person that, well, let me get into that first. Okay, so we have everybody except for Tamara take part in the first mission for the money. Okay, $30,000. They must, of course, work together in this giant thing, to in the middle of a bunch of water. Like it just looks like something out of England. Like we Lockja's monster should be coming out of corner somewhere. Okay, floating puzzle pieces, collecting. Remind me some crap about the challenge. Some hard and unwinnable situations. Okay, but you got celebrities trying to do this. Anyway, they use the boats to swim out and everything. I'm sure Trishelle and Johnny Bananas and CT, this is nothing new for them. It was a time limit on top of everything else. It was just a mess. Okay, there also was a twist. 3 shields are up for grabs. They got 1 on the land and 2 in the water. Anybody who got the shield would be safe from the first murder, but not, banished away. So, of course, everybody's going crazy over that. Janelle, she untied herself so quick, and she immediately went to grab the shield on the land. I was like, Janelle, do not play. I don't care if nobody say, she's always been this way. So I'm expecting this from Janelle, her actions, right? CT and Deontay were, they got something for themselves, of course. As the clock going on, everybody was tripping. We had like 1 second left. The mission was good or whatever. Alan did let them know they got to do better in the future. Either way, $30 was added to the pot. So at the castle, Dan and Janelle kind of came together as alliance. Now he looks at her as like a traitor recruitment, but he says she is a female version of himself. Wait, but female version. So anyway, Pavarotti. But everybody is looking at Peppermint. So let's kind of go into this a little bit. Trishelle jokes and she says, if she's the first person to be murdered, Peppermint must be a traitor. This, and I don't know what Trishelle said this for, but Trishelle, I don't know. It just let's go ahead and get into more of this Trishelle thing. So, okay, if I get murdered, she's a traitor, she says. Pointing at Peppermint. Peppermint laughs. Oh my, and she's, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you, I swear. And Peppermint says, I can't tell. And Trishelle begins telling people Peppermint responded guiltily, of saying that she might be a traitor. Trishelle kept telling the story, telling his round table. Peppermint was, banished at the round table. And now part of it was because of Trishelle. But the crazy thing about Peppermint being gone, she was a faithful. With this show, with the Traitors, they really have to be careful because what I have seen, this is the second season, mind you, that everybody is accusing people who are not the Traitors, and the ones who they are choosing is actually the faithfuls. Okay. Anyway, Trishelle said she reached out to Peppermint and got pushback from fans. I'm gonna read what she said before. For those who ask, I did reach out to Peppermint before the show aired. I felt terrible about getting it wrong and her leaving early. When she had such an incredible message and opportunity to share, I made a bad decision because she said at the end that my movement and things that I'm doing is to also bring awareness to Black trans, queer. My thing, you guys know, of course, I support trans. One of my best friends, her daughter, Malaysia Booker, was killed here in Dallas, and I actually went to the sentencing and the families who gave their statements, which was a really terrible situation. So I 100%, I'm right there for with that cause. So anyway, I regret it immediately after she posted this on Twitter. Trishelle shares an image of Instagram message she sent to Peppermint the night before the episodes debuted on Peacock. Lady, I know you're busy tonight with bananas, but can we please have a chat? I'm still upset about how everything went down. I hope you know I think you're incredible, and I'm sorry for how it went down, Trishelle wrote. A fan responded, accusing her of being scared about audience response. You reached out on Thursday, Diva. That doesn't show anything beside that you are scared of audience response. I wonder why. This is a real count. Anyway, Giselle responded. Um, I haven't thought much about how the show was family, holidays, and traveling this past week, which is what I reached out before I even saw an episode. Does it really matter when? Yes, if you claim it, immediately regretted it. I'm not sure if you know how TV shows work, but there wasn't a chance to speak to Pepper at the management. We never saw her. By the time we were done filming, I was thinking about home, not show, and to recently TV my entire life. Let me share this. You guys can see this really quick. Hold on. Okay, so this is the text message thread. Now, for me, of course, you guys know me. I'd rather talk to the cast, both of Trishelle and Peppermint, to find out, and I always call it gray areas, things that are sticky that that happen that we don't get to see. Now, mind you, I'm gonna ask both of them, different questions. Trishelle, what happened? I know how a joke can turn to something serious really quick. It's happened to me. I have a very sarcastic tone. Sometimes my tone can be confused as humor when I'm being serious. So I'm not making any excuses for anything I don't even know. Is that what happened? Because I wasn't there. Of course, we all go by what we see on TV. But I like talking to cast. My platform is built around that, where I can talk to cast members and find out more of the story instead of assuming. Most fans do that. I do not. So that was that. Let me see. Rita didn't like what she said to her. Okay. She said she'd be on TV. Networks films these shows far in advance, giving them time to edit and advertise before the episodes are dropped. Been on a few, babe, but you have plenty of time to reach out. Didn't you film in September? You could have sent this message then if you actually regretted it. But no, we understand. We're just covering your steps. We know your history, love. Oh, wow. Well, let me look on Twitter real quick. Okay, let's go ahead and go into episode 2 and get to the first murder. So we have Dan and Phaedra. They, of course, you have to recruit somebody to join them, going after the competitors, and they want to win, and they got killing in their blood. Says Phaedra. She is like really, really awesome. When you hear her talk, it's like perfect. Like even what she said, it's just perfect for the show. So anyway, I guess their name is Parvati. I don't know if I said her name. I'm probably saying her name wrong. Parvati. She accepts Dan and Phaedra's offer. Dan and Phaedra have to do their first murder. Um, who can they be? And they're wondering. Dan, asks Dan, Kevin, Bananas, and Peppermint, of course, names that was tossed out there. Um, you know, there's a moment where like Phaedra says Dan has won Big Brother twice, and he actually won twice. He came close the second time, but he lost out to Ian. Oh, she was just talking. It was hilarious. So Johnny Bananas was the first one to get killed, which I was super, super, super surprised. That lets you know this how this show was going to go. Uh Phaedra was right. I do believe Banana was somebody who would be able to catch them. Okay, I do really believe that. So the breakfast mood, of course, the way they go, they all look up and see who's coming through the door, and then that's how they know somebody got murdered. Of course, CT says, "I guess I'm next." Johnny Banana says about CT. Peppermint, once again she says, "Well, wait, Peppermint those." Peppermint just kept talking too much. I'm sorry, she did. I'm sorry, Peppermint. I love you, girl, but Lord have mercy, kept talking too damn much. Someone who can't be controlled. No, Banana was somebody who can't be controlled. And of course, she just called the situation with Trishelle, which I understood why she came at the Trishelle. Again, I would like to talk both of them, but so Peppermint stands up and walks over to Trishelle. If you could get murdered, it might be my look. Maybe she gave a walk. It was period, okay? But it won't be because I'm a traitor, and that's on period. So I really wish that Trishelle would not have gone. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say Shanisha's gone after her. It was a bad joke that turned into a bad mess. Okay. Anyway. So 20,000 Jersey is up for grabs in this second situation. We got the questions containing the lock boxes and questions about the cast. Each celebrity, they have to complete they did a little, the little question and answer they do in the earlier in the day. So 3 shields are available in this challenge as well. Okay, the first question. Okay, oh my God. The first question reveals Marcus is like the one that everybody, who values the most. Anyway, Phaedra and Dan are paying attention. Okay, thinking about how Marcus is an influence in the house. Okay, the second question is who's the most popular player? Oh my God, this is the most awkward question because people in the group, their name is there like, oh, it's so and so awkward player, da da da, and that person standing right there. Okay, the accolade, I'm sorry, it does go to Peppermint, even though Peppermint kept saying it was me, and it was like they was like, no, it's not Peppermint. And then baby, when they went to go open the lockup, it didn't work when it wasn't Peppermint. I'm like, y'all doing too much. But Peppermint had me rolling when they threw my scarecrow down and picked mine back up. Like it was just I knew Peppermint was going home, even just watching that scene. I was like, Peppermint's going to the house. Okay, the third one is who needs to speak up more? Of course, they said Dan, of course, and he's like worried about that, but it's true. So then they have this whole thing with the scarecrows, which is scary as hell. Okay, they have shields and they have gold. They got Janelle, Dan, John, and Peter. Dan was the one that was successful. He got 16,000. I pop a 20K in a pot, leaving the prize pot 46. Woo! Maybe a lot of money there. So of course, here we go again. But this time I'm like, Peppermint, because it was already out there, but she added to it. I'll say that. John was already an issue. They just started saying something. So John Peppermint is with the traitor we're all talking about. Okay. Max is not convinced that she is who she is. He tells Trishelle that she actually provided a non-story about Peppermint. Okay. So Peppermint is his first celebrity to be banished from the Traitors. She pled her case so many times. There have been too many slips of the tongue. She did tell Trishelle to go on the comedy. It was hilarious. So she said, I came into this game because I'm a huge fan. Excuse me. Make sure my thing is recording. Okay. She said, I came into this thing. I'm a huge fan, but the bigger reason for me is to come in here is because I'm trying to put all of my energy and use my platform to advocate for transgender community. I will keep being myself. That will never stop. But in this game, I think some of you all have been led astray. I am a faithful. And with that, she left up out of there. Chantel, you stay. Sheree was irritated. She was like, y'all came up with this whole concoction, and Deontay was struggling. He cried. I was like, wow, he's really a sweet person because it really was hard for him um to see her go because she wasn't actually a traitor. They got rid of a faithful. And I guess it's hard because so far, it's not looking too good as far as who they're choosing and the trust. So anyway, Pavarotti finally gets to meet the traitors, and she's like, y'all are doing a good job. But Dan is looking at the future, and he looks at probably as somebody to throw up on the bus in the future. I don't think he's playing too hard, too fast. I think he's playing how you're supposed to be going. You're supposed to go in like you might be going home tomorrow. People are trying, let's save it. Let's not go too hard. No, why not go hard? Okay. So we have the second one. People were already looking at Deontay, even though he was, upset or whatever. But there's also, they're looking at Marcus. Okay. They also feel like that Marcus and Larsa is advantage because they're two. Then, of course, we have Janelle. So let's see. Marcus was the second one to go and to be murdered. He was too much of a threat. Of course, they have when they go home, she was up. I mean, I'm not saying she was upset, but Larsa, I'm sorry, Larsa, when Alan puts his hand over the portrait, then a third mission will take place in the dead of the night. While the celebrities, they wait everything, they start talking. Larsa and Tamara want to do their housewife thing together and get some, click some flags, whatever. Anyway, Trisselle Bergie, John, and all of them learn that there are a handful of faithful suspicious of Dan. And she has mixed emotions about it and how to respond. But she don't want to defend too heavy. Deontay is looking at Max. Okay. The majority of the third mission is they're asked to go through these graves and tombs, look for this gold. It was a miss. There were 3 shields. They have like the searchlights and all this kind of stuff like that or whatever, but half the group are watching, half the group is in there. Bergie got the pattern down, okay, but there was no gold. But he did have he had it down. He kept saying, and Dan was like saying, listen to him. But then he ended up getting 19 prize pot. Their prize pot went up. But he did a good job. Okay. So Peter grabbed the shield, and I can't say her name, Ikinsu. She thought she was going to get it first, but Janelle beat her to it. And there's a whole disagreement about who grabbed who, saying Janelle's aggressive, the word that I cannot stand. I'm like, who in the world? Why is there a strong woman? The thing of the word has to be aggressive. Stop it. She got it. You were too slow. The time of talk is over. Anyway, Parvati tell Dan that people do suspect, and Deontay tells Play that he's going after Max round table, and Max was the second celebrity to be banished. Dan did defend himself. He's just a quiet person. Okay. I think Deontay defended Dan and then talked about Max. He said he was a bad actor. Cedric talked about how Max supposedly laughing when Peppermint was banished. I was like, that is horrible because out of all the people, Max was the one that defended it. I said, no, y'all just coming. To me, they're coming for Max because he was one of the only ones that didn't agree. That's my opinion. Max, no lie, was told He didn't do God defend himself just like Peppermint did it. But I think that's a tight situation that you're in. It's not normal. Okay. He did try to put it to Janelle, Sue, and then CT. CT who pointed out deflection was something that Trader would do. Parati wrote down a D on her board and scribbled it out. Dan got some votes, but this is gonna make the other players think she had her own suspicions about him allowing her to widen the. Oh, I see what she's doing. Okay, so Max speed short and sweet. I'm a faithful. Boom. Janelle is so mad. I was like, is this called the faithful game? Because y'all ain't caught no traitor. Y'all just putting out favors. Y'all ain't trying to get no coin. What's happening? So, Janelle's mad. Dante changed her mind. And after that, Phaedrus confronts, DeAndre said, this shit is fucking with me too. This isn't, So we have the poison chalice as this next situation here. Okay. So I thought it was really cute. Kind of going with the thing. They had their murder this evening will be different. They must grab a poison chalice from some fake books in the castle and get their target to drink from the cup. The poison is slow acting. So they have to choose somebody, but they won't die right away. Phaedra is happy that Dan and Pavarotti are doing it because she doesn't want to be involved. Okay. The name they're thrown out are MJ, John, and Cherie. Pavarotti freaks out. She can't give the chalice to Cherie because Phaedra's her best friend, and she's looking at her. Phaedra's like, "You're not gonna take her out, baby." Yet she was like, "As for MJ, she's not gonna drink out this rusty old cup." So we don't know who drinks the poison chalice. We will not find out until episode 4. So this is Kamisha Reviews. I was coming to give you a recap of the Traitors USA, and of course, you guys already know I am working on some things. The things we'll see what the Lord blessed me with. You guys will be the first to know if something happened with me in this show and all the things. I love y'all. This is Kamisha Reviews. If I can find my exit, it'll be really nice. Wait, actually, where's my exit? Okay, this is Kamisha Reviews, Queen of Reality TV. I'm out.